right now without knowing it. You are funding someone else's retirement, not through bad luck, not through low income, through 10 spending patterns so psychologically invisible. Your brain has been trained to ignore them. A Harvard behavioral economics paper found that the average person underestimates small recurring expenses by nearly 50%. You think a habit costs you $500 a year. It is quietly costing you $1,200. Multiply that across 10 habits, and you are looking at $500,000 evaporating over a working lifetime. This is not about cutting lattes. This is about understanding the architecture of how money disappears from intelligent people who absolutely know better. The first leak is a car purchase decision that almost everyone makes emotionally. Driving a new vehicle off the lot triggers an immediate depreciation of $10,000 to $15,000. Within 36 months, close to 40% of that value is simply gone. That is $20,000 that will never compound or work for you again. Buyers consistently associate newness with safety and reliability, even when performance data on certified pre-owned vehicles shows no meaningful difference. You are not buying transportation. You are buying a self-image. A 3-year-old vehicle with 30,000 miles performs identically for the decade ahead. The difference in purchase price, redirected into an index fund, becomes the foundation of an early retirement. The second leak runs quietly, 4 or 5 times a week. Food delivery platforms add approximately 40% to the base menu price. The total cost premium across major platforms averages 80%. Compared to eating at a restaurant in person, digital payment interfaces significantly dampen the neural activity. Associated with financial loss, you literally feel less discomfort spending $30 on a screen than handing over cash at a counter. 3 deliveries per week compounds to nearly $4,000 annually. The same meals prepared at home cost closer to $1,200. The $2,700 gap, invested over 3 decades, exceeds $300,000. That is the difference between a decade of freedom and a decade of unwanted labor. The third leak is the daily ritual drink. Small daily purchases get sorted into a separate mental category, distinct from how the brain processes larger expenses. You would scrutinize a $2,000 annual bill, but $7 daily feels like nothing. The ordering ritual itself activates the same dopamine loop as social media scrolling. Your brain is not craving the beverage. It is craving the predictable reward that resets every single morning. You can build an identical ritual at home at roughly 10% of the cost. The $2,000 saved annually is a full retirement account contribution, funded from one single habit swap. The fourth leak is clothing, specifically the gap between what you imagine wearing and what you actually wear. People systematically overestimate how much their future self will want what their present self is excited about. You buy the outfit for a projected version of yourself that rarely materializes. For single occasion purchases, people routinely spend hundreds of dollars on something worn once. The emotional peak of a clothing purchase occurs at the moment of transaction. The dopamine hit lands when you swipe the card, not when you walk into the room. Fast fashion sells the purchase moment, not the garment. A wardrobe of 30 versatile pieces breaks the cycle entirely. The fifth leak compounds invisibly. Your existing smartphone performs above 90% of its original capability. At the 3-year mark, battery degradation is easily resolvable for under $80. Yet the marketing apparatus is engineered to manufacture obsolescence. The camera improved marginally. The processor benchmarks faster. The psychological signal tells you that you are falling behind. Extended warranties operate through identical psychology. The anticipated pain of something breaking registers as twice as intense as the actual savings from skipping the warranty. Data shows only 20% of warranties are ever used. Holding a device 1 additional year and skipping the warranty frees over $1,000 annually. Building a functional emergency fund. The sixth leak happens during every grocery trip. Private label store products are frequently manufactured in the same facilities, using the same formulations as name brand counterparts. Blind studies show store brands match or outperform name brands. In 73% of categories, the name brand keeps winning because repeated exposure to visual identity creates a familiarity response in the brain that is indistinguishable from trust. You do not prefer it. You recognize it. Impulse purchasing adds 18% to the average grocery trip. Grocery stores are architected around this gap. Essentials at the back, temptations at eye level. Shopping online with a fixed list eliminates the architecture entirely. Switching to store brands saves 30 to 40% monthly. The seventh leak is dressed in the language of self-care. The average household spends over $1,000 annually on seasonal home decor and disposable goods, most of it discarded within 90 days. A seasonal shift generates a psychological reset, creating artificial urgency around environmental renewal. New season, new atmosphere, new stuff. The industry has built quarterly revenue cycles around this single cognitive quirk. Reusable alternatives and a use what you have rule. Remove the decision entirely. When there is no choice to make, there is no willpower to burn. The eighth leak is premium-grade fuel. If your vehicle does not specifically require it, you are paying a premium for a marketing label. Testing found zero measurable difference in engine performance or fuel economy in vehicles rated for regular fuel. Wellness products operate similarly. Through health halo thinking, earthy packaging, and clinical-sounding ingredient lists cause the brain to bypass cost-benefit analysis. The product gets mentally recategorized from want to need. Look at what is currently under your sink. The abandoned serums, the half-used supplements. That is a purchasing pattern, driven by the novelty of trying something new, with no long-term intention. The ninth leak is vacation overspending. Over 1 in 3 people go into debt for their vacations, paying credit card interest on memories. The peak end rule explains why this happens. Human memory records the most intense moment, and the final moment, duration and total expenditure do not factor in. A 4-day resort stay and a weekend at a local cabin generate identical retrospective satisfaction. 6 months later, because your brain retains the peak and the ending, not the view from an overpriced balcony. Travelers planning to document trips on social media spend 32% more on average. The destination was chosen for how it would photograph, not for how it would feel. Now take all 9 of these together. New car depreciation, food delivery premiums, daily specialty beverages, underutilized clothing, annual device upgrades, name brand grocery premiums, seasonal disposables, premium fuel and wellness products, vacation overspending. That sum exceeds $500,000 in entirely avoidable outflows, invested at an average annual return across 30 years. That figure grows beyond $1.5 million. That is retiring a decade earlier. It is absorbing a medical emergency without fear. It is the difference between comfort and quiet panic. Here is what actually works. Willpower-based approaches to spending fail at an 85% rate. Every act of resistance depletes the metabolic resource. By evening, when your energy is low, friction loses. The solution is not resistance. It is architecture. Automate savings before your paycheck reaches checking. Use a dedicated spending account with a fixed monthly cap. Remove delivery apps from your primary screen. Install a 48-hour rule for non-essential purchases. Shop groceries online using a pre-built list. Replace your credit card with a debit card that shows a live running balance. When you can see the number falling in real time, spending starts to register as loss again. Every pattern exploits the same 3 cognitive vulnerabilities. You systematically overvalue what is available right now. You undercount the long-term cost of small recurring purchases, and you mentally categorize spending in ways that conceal the true annual total. 3 blind spots, 9 traps, 1 underlying pattern. Once you recognize the architecture, you stop fighting your own cognition. You are not financially irresponsible. You are a human nervous system operating inside an economy that spent trillions of dollars precisely mapping your vulnerabilities. The only remaining question is whether you keep funding that system or start building your own